Hello, everyone. Welcome to Made to Dream. I'm your host, Maya Chanel, and here we share stories from women around the world to inspire, encourage, and empower women and young girls to dream without limitations. Today, I have the ultimate pleasure of being with Miss Hemali Vora, and she is a holistic physical therapist. So I'm so excited for her to teach you so much more about what she does, how she's been going on her journey, things that she's been going through, and just getting insight a little bit more about her and what she does in this world and makes her impact. So, hi, Himali, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. So, I do want to give you the opportunity to allow the audience to know a little bit more about you and what you do.
So, hi everyone. I live in Maryland, and I've been physical therapist for the last 20 years. And slowly and steadily, I started looking into more. I believe that exercise was the only thing to um, make an impact or have a change. And that is it. And then more and more, I realized that there's something missing and there has to be some nutritional point of view. And my kids were suffering from asthma, severe asthma. So for them, I joined this. I took an online course on holistic nutrition. And as I
Mhm.
changed everything in the house, we were actually called a frequent flyers in our doctor's office. And we literally had probably went to our doctor's office 2, 3 times a month
Wow.
with asthma attack or something or the other that, their lungs issue or respiratory issues. And so um, when I joined this course and I started changing things around the house, the products that I use, the cleaning supplies, shampoo, conditioner, makeup, I stopped using nail polishes, anything that had chemicals and things.
Mhm.
Um, we took out curtains from our house, cleaning products like bathroom and all that, and started doing organic food. Um,
Mhm.
more started cooking at home and things. We
Mhm.
literally that year went to doctor's office 1 or 2 times a year, like within
Wow.
a year. So that was a significant difference.
Mhm.
And and so of course, this impacts my work. And
Mhm.
I love what I do as a physical therapist. I worked at the hospital inpatient, and I love that. I love working with geriatric, older, elderly population.
Mhm.
They're so much fun, and I learned so much from them. They speak their mind. They tell you what.
Yes.
So it's like
Oh my
they
goodness.
entertain you all the time, and they have so much wisdom and knowledge. So anyway, so I knew that once you learn something, it is so hard to unlearn it. You know,
Mhm.
so when we started this journey of this lifestyle of um, and so, I know people say that that's a lot of money, organic product, and you
Mhm.
don't know, they still use certain things in there,
Right.
which is true. And, but I decided that I was going to doctor's office 2, 3 times a month. I was
Mhm.
spending so much money on steroids. My kids
Mhm.
were having that whole steroid, those face of moon face, the
Mhm.
brittle bone, like they were getting hurt very easily. They weren't able
Mhm.
to play outside in the grass.
Right.
All kinds of um, allergies and things. And so we just slowly started adding in one thing at a time. And I decided to spend money on us, what we use on a daily basis, instead of giving it to the doctor and the medication and everything. And so
Mhm.
everything adds up, whether you pay
Right.
it now or you pay it later.
Mhm.
So, and it was a great, significant change in our budget. Oh my God. Yes, our grocery bills were high, but and we had to make adjustments and
Mhm.
start making things at home. And it was hard with kids, it was like
Yeah. Having
once,
to cook every day. Oh, too
yes,
much.
I worked full time. uh,
Mhm.
and working, and I was very hands-on mom, like pick up, drop off from school and
Mhm.
activities and everything. So of course, I was exhausted, overwhelmed, but my husband helped eventually. And you need a support. But I know people that have been able to, they were bedridden, young
Mm-hmm.
girls, from whatever reason. And they were able to um, actually, like, I have friends they were able to start once they started taking responsibility for their health
Mm-hmm.
and started, you know, really listening to their body, listening to their
Right.
mind. And, it's the matter of letting go and surrender too, letting go of that
Mm-hmm.
control. And so that, and then I also started doing Reiki at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
that whole, integration of movement, integration of the nutrition part. You need at certain time, like different season, you need different food to ground you.
Mm-hmm.
Like winter time is coming, so you want something that will be more grounding, more warm, more soups and things that will make you happy. Soul foods,
Mm-hmm.
what is your body requiring at the time? And so Reiki, what really Reiki did was, I always feel that I do these things for my kids, but
Mm-hmm.
really in turn, it impacts myself and my life and how it
Right.
changed my life. I was a very quiet and shy person. I'm still an introvert, but
Mm-hmm.
that just um, Reiki just kind of gave me permission or ability, the power and strength to be who I am,
Mm-hmm.
to unlearn all the things that society has told me,
Right.
to, um, you know, be out there, be able to speak up. It's okay
Mm-hmm.
to, even if you're different than everybody else,
Right.
it's okay to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to love yourself. I
Right.
think there were some moments in my life, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about self-love and self-care because
Mm-hmm.
that is my passion, and that's what I want to share with the world and women out there, that it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be center of your own universe.
I
You
agree.
are center of your universe. And it's okay to say, you know what, this is my time and I need to heal myself. And
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, healing is not easy. It's
No.
very messy and it's a long journey,
Mm-hmm.
but you will get there.
It's a
And
battle within yourself.
yes, absolutely. And we all have this good, bad, and ugly in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay.
Right.
We all are this love and light. When we came into this world, it's our circumstances, it's our um, it's our experiences and
Mm-hmm.
environment, and that, and absolutely our generation, what they've gone through, it comes into us. If you look at epigenetics and everything,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Most definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I've talked to a few past interviewees about the nature versus nurture thing. I had one perspective from one person who actually kind of experienced it for themselves where they were raised by someone else, but when they found their birth parents, they were like, wow, like this is why I'm like this. So it's like, it's a kind of like it alters, it's a little difference, but it's more like 50-50 kind of. And then I also talked to a psychologist about it as well. And, the same perspective. So it's crazy how things work like that.
right. It's like, every one of us are doing our best. Our parents are doing their best to raise us the way they've learned,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Both our parents, their parents have taught us because of their experience and circumstances and
Hmm.
environment. And before them, they were, our great grandparents. And,
Hmm.
so, so all that comes down to us, the way
Hmm.
we are taught what to do, how to do it, how to
Hmm.
be the ladylike, what in that generation was,
Yeah.
to be that good girl, and so how do you get out of that good girl?
By
That,
exploring,
right?
I
Perfection.
think.
So
Yeah.
curiosity,
Mhm.
always be curious,
Mhm.
always be, this journey is a process, and always learn through that and what
Mhm.
it is. And so I started with mirror work.
Mhm.
And, I remember one time crying in the bathroom. My husband and I had a fight, and I really said it, it's the words that you say. You start noticing, what are the words
Mhm.
that you're thinking about yourself? And what
Mhm.
are the words that you're saying out loud to other people? Things that you're saying. Like, to him, I was like, I love you more than me.
No.
And it's nothing wrong about it. It's okay to
Mhm.
love someone. But to me, I was like, why? What's wrong with me?
Right.
Why can't I love myself more than anybody else? Like, why
Mhm.
don't I love myself?
Right.
So that was my exploration into me. Like,
Mhm.
but that's because that, the what I've been taught, it's like we as women or just caregiver have been
Yeah.
taught to just give, 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 and never to ask, never to expect anything.
No. Never
And
to explore or to be able to question, because God forbid you
today,
question,
right? And even as children, like now it's like after, like so many years, like I used to be so angry. I'm always
Mhm.
working, I'm busy, I'm trying to get the nutrition part, taking the kids, doing all that, handling and, juggling everything. So I'm
Mhm.
always angry. I'm always like thinking about the next thing to do, next thing. And so never living in the moment. And so
Mhm.
I said, okay, for my kids, I'm going to work on my anger. I'm going
Mhm.
to, be in that um, place where I'm peaceful within me, so that I'm not creating these angry people going out into the world, and these
Mhm.
people with traumas, right? And so I explored different, like Art of Living. They have happiness program. And mind you, I had a little bit of depressive tendencies, I called it. And because, I had this whole world where I'm like taking in everything. And
Right.
at
An
some point,
empath.
it's like pressure cooker, I would explode at times, because I'm
Mhm.
not. So learning that inaction is also an action,
Mhm.
you
I
know.
think, yeah, because a lot of times as women, we're trying to hold ourselves up so much so that we hold this certain image,
Right.
just make ourselves stronger to society, to the world, and we forget about ourselves and how that energy that we're keeping within us is hurting us
Yeah.
internally.
Right, exactly. And so my first thing was mirror work. I was talking about, and mirror work is Louise Hay. If you've heard about her, you just look in the mirror. And I would encourage all the listeners to do this,
Mhm.
to look in the mirror. And, we look in the mirror, but we really don't look at ourselves. And if
Mhm.
you ever look in the mirror and look into your eyes, you'll see that you're looking into your soul. You're looking into that child's eyes, your inner child. And I couldn't even try to say, I love you. Take your name
Mhm.
and say, I would start with Hemali, I love you. First, you'll laugh like, oh my God, this is so stupid. This is crazy.
Mhm.
And then I could not get past that. Like, that was my 1 month kind of um, like a process where I would just start crying, because I know how I've hurt myself. I know that how I've kept myself small
Mhm.
and hidden, really, and
Mhm.
not being seen out there, not being heard, because as a child, certain things I considered myself as a failure, not being able to do certain things. And so I was told by a lot of people that, oh, you don't know anything, you are not good enough, and as a child, everything magnifies.
Mhm.
You carry this with you throughout your years, and into your adult and elderly life. And so you still feel the same way. So mirror work really opens up. And then you say to yourself, I really love you. You're beautiful. You're beautiful from inside out. You are filled with love. And just doing that was, and then also doing Ho'oponopono, if you've heard of
No,
that.
what's that?
Hawaiian, it's, if you just look up the on YouTube, it's a song, right?
Mhm.
Um, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Mhm.
I thank you, and I love you. And so just these words, and say that to yourself. Because in the end, it's you, when you're angry at someone, when you're,
Mhm.
looking at the people outside of you for what they're doing, it's really you. Like I wanted respect from some people, some
Mhm.
important people, because, and I was always there for them. This is
Mhm.
family, and always doing things, but then I never
Mhm.
got that acknowledgement or respect or anything. And
Mhm.
I realized that it was because I don't respect myself.
Right.
I
You gotta
don't,
respect yourself.
exactly.
I think that's a big thing because as women, sometimes we feel like we're just supposed to do things, and even if we're not getting things that we want, we feel bad for demanding respect for something or a little bit of praise or recognition or appreciation. We feel bad for wanting those things like we're not supposed to get them. And
Right,
it's like we have to understand that, it's okay for you to do that because anybody else in this world, a man is gonna want to be appreciated for something that he does. He wants recognition for what he does. So why shouldn't we want the same?
right. But I think more than anything, you need to do that to yourself. You need to appreciate yourself. You need
Hmm.
to really, what does respect and all that mean? Really creating that boundary, right?
Hmm.
Like, how is this person able to tell you anything and you're going to just stand there and listen to it?
Right.
And in a loving way. You don't have to be like hounding at them and
Right. Like,
oh,
no, like, I don't care what you say.
I'm gonna pull your hair and this fist fight or anything. No. And so you just want to really in
Hmm.
a loving way, like, and say no when you want to say no.
Right. I think it goes the same way when you have a lot of people, you even have some young children where their parents tell them they aren't capable of something, or you have different adults telling someone they're not capable of something, but it's like it's harder when you're doing that with a child. An adult can sit here and say, you know what, I don't really care, like I know what I can do. But sometimes a child needs that reassurance. They need someone to be able to tell them, like, you're capable of this, you're able to do this, because a child is learning, you're growing up, and it's like if someone older than me who has been here longer and they're supposed to know everything is telling me that I can't do it, then how are they going to feel?
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And then children watch you. They feel you. Children are so close to the ground and nature, and they're so in tune with the universe that
Hmm.
they feel you. So if you're frustrated, they get frustrated. If
Hmm.
you're angry, they get angry.
Right.
And if you you suppress them, shut them up, be like, you're not allowed to talk back to me, you're not allowed to raise your voice, you're not allowed to state your opinion, what you feel, how you feel, and all that, then
Hmm.
you're not there to listen to them. Then that carries on with them, because I
Right.
know that we've been told these things,
It definitely breeds low confidence. And how is a child supposed to be able to explore and get to know what it is that they truly want in life, or different questions that they have, if you're constantly just shutting them down? And it leads them to, in their school life, if they're not able to ask questions, they kind of shy away from it, and then it disrupts their entire learning experience.
right? And
So
so
it just trickles down to so many different areas of their life that it's like, you gotta allow them to ask some questions.
yeah, yeah, and we all grow up with that, right?
Hmm.
And it gets into our other relationships. And so really main thing is, what is your relationship with yourself? How is
Hmm.
your relationship with yourself? Do you
Hmm.
really know what love is? Do you know what you want as a love interest, a relationship, a
Hmm.
friendship? Are you a good friend? So really going into yourself before you blame anybody else out there, and not blaming yourself. You are who you are, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Accepting. I think forgiving is one thing. Forgiving yourself for not standing up for yourself. Forgiving yourself for not talking back, or standing up,
Mm-hmm.
and or any other situation, being angry, being the way you react, the way you. And I think that was the most important lesson for me in terms of
Mm-hmm.
forgiveness and how to start forgiving and sending love to those people. Oh my God, I am who I am right now because of those people and
Mm-hmm.
what they put me through. I mean, some of them, and this is close family,
Mm-hmm.
that they hated me to their core. And and really all I did was gave myself. And somebody asked me, what is it about that abuse that you love that you kept going back?
Right. I
And
think it's like sometimes we have to ask ourselves these questions like,
right,
why am I taking this treatment? Why am I going through with this? Is it because I've been told that I have to do this? I have to be submissive. I have to just take whatever and just be strong about it. You
right,
know, different things that we're taught growing up can definitely shape us as an individual,
right,
shape the things that we take. And you sit and wonder, there's so many women going through domestic abuse situations, and October is a domestic abuse awareness month. um, just think about all the things that they may have gone through growing up that have shaped them into the person, or shaped their thoughts to make them withstand certain things like that, or think that those things are love.
right, right. And that's because maybe, we haven't stepped in. Okay, so far you had that. Don't blame yourself.
Hmm.
It's okay. This is going to teach you every minute, every second in your life is a lesson.
Hmm. And I
Wherever.
love you talked about, blaming yourself. A lot of girls and women do that as well. When something goes wrong, they always put the blame on themselves. Oh, I should have done this better. I could have done this. It was all my fault. But sometimes you really need to look at it from the true perspective and sit and say, no, you're taking abuse. Like,
Yeah.
it's not your fault. Everything is not your fault.
No. And what I've learned is that there are millions of people in this world,
Hmm.
and not everybody's going to like you,
No,
and you're not going to like everybody else. And
no.
it is completely okay.
Hmm.
It's okay because you there's so many perspectives,
Hmm.
there's so many, and everybody sees it differently through their eyes and what it is. And that doesn't mean that they are wrong, or why these things are triggered in them.
Hmm.
Seeing you triggers them something. You say a word and that triggers something, but it's about them,
Hmm.
and it's about their experiences, and that they need to figure out why that triggers you. It has nothing to do with you,
Hmm. No,
right?
most definitely. So what do you feel like, um, I know you talked about one of your biggest life lessons is learning to love yourself.
Mhm.
What would you say are the top three things that have ultimately changed about you for the better after you've come to that realization of, self-love and forgiving yourself and loving yourself and all of those things?
I think three things I would say: surrendering, accepting,
Hmm.
and really letting go of the control of what is
Hmm.
your relationship and all that. Just letting all that go, and it's hard.
Oh my
And
God, control.
letting go, I'm still working on it. It's a process, and I'm sure I'll be working on it till the day I die.
Mhm.
But what I've really helped me also is grounding yourself. And what does grounding really mean? I have to go walk in the woods. That really, the nature, brings me together. Uh,
Mhm.
so I don't know if that answers your question, but so acceptance and
Right.
accepting who you are, accepting the relationships that you're in, because
Mm-hmm.
what you resist persists. And not
Mm-hmm.
only persists, but it also magnifies.
Right. It just becomes a bigger issue at that.
Right. And so accepting whoever you're in relationship with or whatever the issue is, accepting that that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Once all these things come into awareness, I think my biggest thing is being in awareness, living in awareness. We think 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and
Mm-hmm.
probably most of them, 90%, is about criticizing ourselves. Would we
Mm-hmm.
say these things to our friends, our loved ones? No. And so, so that's one thing. Change your thoughts, change your words that you speak, but be in awareness. And even if you smile for that one whole day, that just one smile, pat your back.
And I
And
do love, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, so I feel that, if you made, say, nutrition wise, if you made that one change during the day, you were good, you drank one glass of water more than you ever did, pat your back. Don't worry about everything else. Don't fill yourself with guilt, shame, all these emotions within you, because it takes a while to release all of them.
No, most definitely. And I do love how everything that you started to learn and do, it all couples into each other. The physical therapy, the holistic part of it, the Reiki, everything comes and works together. So it's like no one says that you have to do just one thing for the rest of your life. You can do multiple things, and all those things couple and, you know, what's the word? I'm lost
So
here.
like integrate everything together. So like I do, so movement is necessary, right? We know that we're made out of 70% water.
Mhm.
And so we know something about water, that
Mhm.
water, if it stays in one place, if it's stagnant, then what happens? You have infections, you have mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So what
Yes,
happens if
keep
your
moving.
body is stagnant? What happens if your energy is stagnant? What if the water is stagnant in your body? You have to
Mhm.
move it. So that's why I do energy work with it. Nutrition. You need, when you're going through these healing things, you need something that grounds you, something that soothes you, so that you can, or you more fiber, so that you release the toxicity that you've moved in your body to
Right.
get out of your body, right? Purging, whatever, all that, bringing that together. And I
Mhm.
also added, and so I'm living more with the guidance of my
Mhm.
higher power. So
Mhm.
recently I was guided to do, I'm an end of life doula. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I didn't talk to you about that. And that is death doula. And so do little grief work. And I work with people that are transitioning
Mhm.
um, into death. And so,
Mhm.
that works. So it's, we're immortal, everything
Right. We
changes,
all know. Yeah.
and nothing is permanent. Everybody just
Mhm.
remember that this shall pass too,
Mhm.
nothing is permanent. And you are you have everything that you need
Mhm.
at that moment to deal with whatever you have, or angels and God, or whoever higher power you believe in will send someone else to help you with that.
Most definitely. So if you had to say one thing to women and girls around the world to inspire them to dream without limitations, what would it be?
Wow, one thing. I'm a talker, so
Okay, give me three. Give me three. Give me
well,
three.
I'll try with one, but
Okay.
um, you have the potential to be anything and everything that you want to be. And it is okay. You are the light and love and magnificent being in this world. And really, if you have to listen to this, or you want to call me so I can say this to you, that is really important. You can call me and I will just say this to you. You are beautiful the way you are.
Mhm.
And anything you dream, you can make it happen into
Most
reality.
definitely.
but you need to live an aware life, moment to moment, and listen to your body, listen to your soul, and it will guide you to where you want to go.
Most definitely. I love it. I love it. Before we close, I do want to give you the opportunity. If anyone does want to contact you or just follow your journey, how can they do that?
So you can reach me on Facebook. I am www.facebook.com/Coach Hemali. And my phone number is 240-354-0129. And you can reach me that way. I am just getting out into social media. I was all word of mouth. I
Mhm.
work word of mouth. So it is taking me a while. So um, I'm not really high tech. So I am coming on my YouTube channel, and I am doing a little bit more speaking events and things, but I'm on Instagram too. It's _happy_healthy_you as letter U.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, we thank you so much, Hemali, for sharing your story with us today, being a light, being an inspiration, and encouraging and empowering women and young girls around the world. We thank everyone once again for tuning in. This is Made to Dream. I'm your host, Maya Chanel, and we'll see you next time.